Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing great today. We're going to do circle time, and we are still talking about what lives and grows in trees. But first, we're going to have a little bit of a review of our numbers and our letters that we have worked on this month. So, this is our first number. Can you tell me what that number is? Hopefully you can see it. Let me see if I can get a little darker marker here. Let me try writing it again, just in case you can't see it. All right, boys and girls, what is that number? Right, 4. Can you hold it 4 fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now what is that number? Correct. It is a 5. 5 fingers. It's your whole hand. All of the fingers on one hand. It's 5. Let's review our letter of the month. What letter is that? C. Callie, cat, clock, C. And the lowercase c looks just like it, except it's smaller. All right, our next letter. You can start out like you're making a C, but you keep going and connect. That's not a beautiful one of these letters, but what letter would that be? Looks like a potato, doesn't it? Let me try it again. There we go. O. And the lowercase o, once again, looks just like it, except it's smaller. And the O makes the sound of octopus, Oscar, then we have the letter S. Snake, sit, Sally, soup, smiley, and again, the lowercase looks just like it. So all of our letters this month, the capital letter and the lowercase letter, all look the same. All right, let's go over our color. Let me see if you can see this. Let me get a little closer. What color is this marker? On the top, the lid. Brown. That's correct. And this shape, it's not a square. The square is here. All 4 sides are the same. It's a rectangle. A rectangle has 2 long sides and 2 shorter sides. It still has 4 sides. It has 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, but 2 sides are longer than the other. That's a rectangle. Okay, now we're going to talk about our trees, and we're going to talk about what lives in trees and what does not live in trees. And I have made a chart for us. Lives in trees, does not live in trees. So, I'm going to hold a picture up for you. We're going to see what it is. It's a bird. So, does birds live in trees or do they not live in trees? Now, they can live lots of different places, but do birds live in trees? Yes. They do. They build nests out of all sorts of things. You could go outside and gather up some twigs. Remember, twigs are like little bitty branches. We save some of those. You might go outside and get some twigs. You could use straw. You could use leaves and try to build a bird nest out of those things. You could use, birds use all sorts of things. I found ribbons. I have found cotton. I have found yarn. I found all sorts of stuff in bird nest that they use. Dirt. Some use mud. So you can make bird nests out of anything. All right, our next animal. What about this animal? It's a dog. And does a dog live in trees? No, they do not. Now, dogs live in houses, dog houses. Some live in your house. I have 2 dogs that live in my house, 2 small dogs. So, but they do not live in a tree. What about this animal? Yes, it is a bird. It's a penguin. And we did talk about birds living in trees. But does this kind of bird live in a tree? No, it does not. This bird does not fly. If he does, his wings are too small. He might could flap for a short distance. But he doesn't fly. He lives in cold weather, usually. So he does not, that type of bird does not live in a tree. What about this little furry animal? We have lots and lots of these around here. It is a squirrel. And we've talked about them a lot. Yes, they do live in a tree. All right, what about this animal? What is this? Yes, it is a whale. Where do whales live? In the ocean. That's right. They live in the ocean, live in the water. They couldn't live in a tree. They live in the ocean. What about this animal? We talked about it yesterday in our book. A monkey. Monkeys can live in trees. Yes. They stay protected when they get up high. They can see around, and that's where they live. What about this insect? It's a butterfly. Can butterflies live in trees? Yes, they can. They become butterflies in a tree usually. Remember, they attach their cocoon to a tree, to a branch or leaf or twig, and they hang there for a while, and they become a beautiful butterfly. All right, I think this is our last one. What is this? We see lots of these around here too. We have to be careful when we're driving down the road and watch for these little animals. This is a little deer, also called a fawn. And can a fawn live in a tree, or do they live in trees? No, they do not. They might hide behind a tree. They may lay down by a tree, but they do not live in trees. They live out usually in the fields or in the woods. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 animals that do not. 1, 2, 3, 4 animals that do. And of course, there's all kinds of other animals that lives in trees. There's all kinds of other animals that do not live in trees. So you may talk with your grown-up today about some other kinds of animals that you know of that lives in trees and some that do not. If you can find some pictures, maybe I can talk about it a little bit more. And tomorrow we will have another circle time, and we will continue on the subject of what lives and grows in trees. Hope you guys have a great day. There's also a video up of a book reading, and I didn't read the book because we don't have it, but I put it up about the grand old tree, and I encourage you to watch that video and watch the other videos from the other days. Miss Tina has some up, I have some, and we even have some up from the end of the school year last year. You guys have a great day. We miss you. Bye.